What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Dirty Mike, and today, my friends, we've got a big budget squad builder for the weekend. So if you've got a bankroll, then you're going to appreciate this. And on screen, you're seeing a 4-3-3. However, I'm going to swap into a 4-1-2-1-2 hashtag pro swap. And before we get into the tactics, the team, the gameplay, just all of the above, I want to address November, where I finished Elite 1 in the monthly, but I'm disappointed in myself. And I've mentioned this on stream recently, and I mentioned it in another video, but I didn't plan properly for November if I wanted to truly compete. And I didn't make the proper choices with streaming on the weekend and just not being as focused and as serious. And now I'm sitting here missing a regional that I think I could have qualified. And it's very easy for myself, and I don't want to speak on Ovi or Crossy's behalf. We all have that competitive history. We've won many events. We've been to World Finals, you name it. Any competitive event, FIFA Interactive World Cup, World Cyber Games, ESWC, etc., etc. All the events that you judge as high caliber, the top tier, we've all been to those. But once you start getting into the YouTube transition where you're building up your personality and you're editing content and you're trying to make all this good material for the consumers, for the people that support your channel. For December, I'm going to be very focused and use it as a training month because the next qualifying period will be in January. And I don't want to let you guys down. I want to make sure that whether we qualify or we don't qualify, that I give maximum effort in terms of having a squad ready and having the right team on deck and really grinding out those games every single weekend. So I'm not talking about finishing Elite 1 in the monthly. I'm talking about finishing in the top 100. I'm talking about finishing in the top 12. Those are my plans, and I just need to take a minute before we get into this video real heavy to discuss what's been on my mind a little bit. I gotta vent it out. What you're seeing on screen is the formation and where the players are positioned when I swap in match. And the reason that people do this is because you're going to get full chemistry on your players. You go in with full chem and then you move things around. And anytime that you move formations, if you change a formation in game, doesn't matter if it's in the first minute or the 88th minute, you must adjust your instructions. They do not carry over. And I use stay back while attacking for both fullbacks. I've got Rijkaard, who I've been experimenting with. I believe that he could be similar to Vieira, a cheap Vieira, because he only's going to cost you anywhere between, right now at least, 380 to maybe 420,000 coins, which is a third of the price of what you're going to pay, maybe even a fourth of the price. Vieira's been rising so much. And I think you're going to get a similar result. He's big. He's got crazy hair. Crazy hair always means that you're going to be overpowered. I wanted to discuss some of the areas that people keep asking me questions about. Let's start with your reserves or your bench. Why are people bronze benching? Well, if you have a squad that has Ronaldo and Griezmann and a couple legends, your overall rating is going to be through the roof. In fact, I actually want to get my rating even lower. Before the weekend, I will make adjustments to get this down to hopefully an 81 or an 82 rating versus being at an 83. And I only have 2 gold players on the bench. Those are going to be my subs. And the reason that people are doing this is because they believe in handicap or they don't want to chance it. When I talk to many pros and guys that are winning events, they sometimes believe that there truly is a handicap, other times not so much, but either way, they do not want to risk it for the biscuit if they could have the possibility of playing worse or their guys not being so reactive or not being themselves due to a bench issue. And that's why you're seeing so much bronze benching. And I also recommend it. If you feel as if you've ever gotten the bad end of the stick, you're hitting the post too much, your players are out of position, your guys don't seem like they're reacting even though they're a 90 overall, throw the bronze players on the bench. As we get started with the gameplay, let's talk about the squad in a little bit more depth. And I do have one disclaimer. I haven't finalized my chemistry style choices. Typically before I go into the weekend league, I sit back and truly think, hey, Mike, do you want this guy to be a little more defensive? After you've played a few more games with the team, do you want this guy to be a little more attacking? Do you think it's going to be a big bump for him to increase maybe his physicality versus his pace? So that's not finalized. If any of you guys have questions about chemistry styles, get in the comments. If you have any suggestions for my team, I'd love to see some work in the comments. It's always a good look. I like feedback, and it helps because even if I don't make a video about it, it doesn't mean I didn't apply what you suggested. I'll try out a lot of strange things in FIFA. You never find greatness or something different or out of the ordinary if you're not willing to experiment. And with this squad, I do plan on replacing Butland with De Gea. I just didn't have the coins. After picking up Ronaldo and Bale and a couple legends, the prices were so inflated on certain guys that I didn't have enough coins for De Gea, but he will make an appearance on the weekend. I'm not sure how early or how late, but Butland's not a bad second choice. I know he's only an 82 overall, but if you've used him, then you're already well aware the man is overpowered. One of the best goalkeepers in the game, and he's only going to cost you about 2,000 coins if you're on the Xbox. This team was, I'm talking 3.6 million, all right? So you have been opening packs, or you had some amazing luck, or you're just a trader of all traders. Who knows? There's been a lot of opportunity this year with trading. But let's look at the squad. You've got your typical triangle with the Sanchez, Alaba, and Boateng. And at this point, I think I prefer Sanchez to Vidal. And it's just because of how I use that position, where Sanchez becomes more of a holding midfielder. I'm looking for him to break up plays. Vidal inches forward a little bit more. Vidal's also a better attacker. It's heavily debatable. Maybe not. But I've played so many games with Sanchez that I feel as if he makes it into squad after squad after squad. You're seeing Griezmann just going ham in these matches. And then on the other side, I'm going to use Smalling. And I say that with a little bit of skepticism. Excuse me. Getting my words out nice and clean. Well, not so much in that one. We stuttered through it. But I'm a little bit of a skeptic just because I've played so many games with Koscielny. He's a little bit quicker, a little more agile. Smalling is that big, physical. He's Boateng-esque, so to speak. And then Kyle Walker keeps making it into squads. And I talked about what I'm looking to get out of Rijkaard, and I hope that he delivers. From the 7 to 10 games, and I use this team on stream as well. I was playing a lot of subscribers, undefeated. Hey. From what I've seen at an early stage, I think people are sleeping on Rijkaard because statistically, he doesn't look like a goal scorer. He looks like a CDM. And I don't know why an 88 legend is only going to cost you 380 to 400,000 or so coins. That seems like a decent buy. When you look at legends, it's one of the cheapest legends you can purchase. And I just think people are sleeping on him. And we're going to find out this weekend. And the Rui Costa is the real deal. If you've never used him, well, then you're missing out. If you have, then you might already know what I'm saying is true. Rui Costa is absolutely the real deal, and I'm hoping that he's going to be able to provide kind of dance and prance in that final third where you need to have some clean build-up, and that's where I uploaded a video recently talking about 1-2s and tiki-taka work right on the edge of the box because you need something. And I'm going to use Gareth Bale as a center mid. And I realize for some people you might sit there and, hey, Mike, you are wasting Gareth Bale. He's an attacker. He's a striker. I'm not mad if you use him as a striker. I've done that for one of the weekend leagues. He's great there. He's excellent. But I feel as if my counterattack in the games that I win, and I win most of them, is done in the midfield. Am I breaking up plays? Am I consistently going to play defense that gets shutouts? Am I able to chase back? Am I able to have some nice build-up in there? Do I have someone who's athletic that can go back and forth both ways? That sounds so suspect. But that's why I'm going to try Gareth Bale at center mid. I think Griezmann and Ronaldo as a partnership will work out just fine. Anytime you have Ronaldo as a striker, he draws so much attention that the other striker ends up just scoring goals on goals on goals if he's positioned correctly. And I think Griezmann will do just that. If you purchase Ronaldo and he doesn't lead your team in goals or assists, or maybe both, then get rid of him. That's truly my advice. Get rid of the guy, because then you're not getting enough out of him for the price that you're paying. I've been wanting to use George Weah in a squad, but he just keeps on rising. I can't believe he's more expensive than Ronaldo. I suppose there might be a rarity type of, I don't know. Ronaldo's pretty rare. But if you enjoyed it, make sure to drop a thumbs up. Remember, if you have any questions about the squad, bronze benching, chemistry styles, formation swaps, I am down to get in those comments. Not down in the DM, down in the comments. And I'll gladly do my best to answer any questions you have. But if you enjoyed it, drop a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. I'm happy to have you. Hope you guys had an excellent past weekend, and let's do amazing in the future. Let's have a great December and then punch it in January. Peace.